Hi guys. Okay, so this video is going to be long, I warn you now. You don't need to watch this video. I'm just going to be talking and waving my hands around like this. So I suggest you put me on in the background and do some journaling, or you're ironing, or you're washing up, or you're tidying, or whatever it is you want to do. Just listen while you're doing something else, because you don't need to watch. I'm filming in my office today, and I used to always film in here, but back then I had really nice Kallax units that looked really pretty with like pink and blue doors, and I had like cute characters and things. That Kallax unit is now in my daughter's bedroom with her for her things, and so we have these bookcases, and I don't tend to film in here because I think it looks a bit scruffy and tatty. This is shop stock, by the way, so like there's papers there and stickers and stuff, so it's not a pretty workspace, but it's very functional for us, although it does need a bit of a tidy, I will admit. But the reason that I thought I would film here is I'm going to be doing a Q&A answering your questions, because it's been a while, and I normally would print out the questions and then go off to like my bedroom and film, where it looks a bit nicer and tidier and cleaner and all that kind of stuff. But I was just like, do you know what, that's just such a waste of paper and ink to do that, because I don't keep that. So in front of me is my computer with the prompts on it, although I am going to have to do that because I have put my tripod in the way. So I thought this would be a lot easier. So let's crack on, because I know I will talk a lot. I'm going to go to the Facebook questions first, and then the Instagram ones. I thought I did my hair, but I'm looking really frizzy. My hair, like, but you know, one of those days where I'm like getting stuff done, you know. I'm like being like a power woman today. Like, I was gonna do a studio vlog, and I've been working like crazy, and I forgot to pick up the camera. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so there'll be no studio vlog when you'll be watching this, so there'll be this Q&A instead. Right, 2 minutes in, I haven't even answered any questions yet. So Georgia asks, what was it first like in the early days of selling your work? Have you got any advice for a newbie Etsy seller trying to grow a business? Okay, so oh my gosh, in the early days, so Mrs. Brimble's business it will be 6 in April, so that's just crazy. Like, so 6 years in April that I've uploaded my first YouTube video, and then 6 years in August that I set up my Etsy shop and started selling things. I think it's 6 years that I did that. Not sure. So back then planners weren't a massive thing, but art journaling and journaling was, and that sort of thing kind of, I find, like constantly does like a full circle. So growing my YouTube was really easy. I just posted videos, and back then I was off work. I didn't have a job because I was recovering from pneumonia, and took voluntary redundancy from my job. And so I had loads of time to post videos and interact with people, and so growing my YouTube channel was really easy. Unfortunately, over the last couple of years, there hasn't been any real gain in numbers there, and I don't know, possibly because I don't put as much time as I used to into it. That is a big thing. Like, the more time you plow into something, the more you can grow it and make it work. So yeah, I don't do as many videos as I used to, and I don't like engage as much as I used to, like talk, chat, like comment on other people's videos and all that kind of stuff. And in terms of planner stuff, it was all quite new and exciting, and there wasn't really back then anything for the planner market. So I started off like really well. I am not gonna lie to you, my business kind of exploded. It did so well, but that was because I just, as I said, like, there weren't companies like Prima and Simple Stories and Webster's Pages and all that back, and Kikki.K, Erin Condren, all of those back then. It was basically just Filofax, and there was nothing pretty. So the fact that I came along with some inserts with some doodles on, that kind of that kind of took off, and then dashboards and things, and so yeah, that kind of took off because there was nothing else available at the time. And then I started the Brimbles box, a subscription box, and when I started that, there weren't any other boxes. There was one that came along for a little while and then ceased trading, and so then I started. But then since I started that, there's like been loads of subscription boxes burst into the market, and I think now I think it's very, very competitive now. There are so many companies, including some major players, so I think it's very difficult to kind of make your mark. I think if you are an artist or illustrator and you're able to do your own artwork, I think you're probably at a bit more advantage, and if you're not already established, because I do see quite a lot of sticker sellers, they use a lot of the same bought clip art, so it's kind of difficult to stand out. So I think if you do your own stuff, you're at a more advantage, but it's all about promotion and how much time you plough into it with your social media and your promotion and everything, which is something I don't do as much as I should do. And yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, it's very competitive out there at the moment, and people don't have as much money at the moment as they did, so it's all very difficult at the moment. And yeah, business is not as good as it once was. I feel like I'm working harder and more and selling less, but you know, that's just, so advice is just to keep doing what you're doing, try and find your unique selling point and promote. Find out where your audience are and promote to them. I'm not always very good at practicing what I preach. Slavica asks, says, I love all your videos. Do you ever do Easter projects videos? As I have seen you do October daily, excuse me, and December daily. Would love to see an Easter daily project. I did last year. I did do a photo challenge for April, because it's Brimble's birthday month, and I might bring that back this month. But in terms of doing a daily like scrapbook journal thing, to be honest with you, I still haven't finished off my December daily from this year. I ran out of paper for my printer, and I ran out of money to buy paper for my printer. I've since done that, and I've since printed out the photos, but I haven't gotten round to finish off that album. No, I've no intention to do it. Like Easter and spring, like my time of year is autumn and Christmas or Yule, and I like spring, but it doesn't inspire me to journal about it. And we don't do things like, we don't do events and celebrations and things in the same way that we do in the autumn and winter months. So no, not for me. So like, yeah, that's what it is. She also asks, how do you balance work and family time? You look like you have it really well organised. I may look like I have it really well organised, but I don't. Can you see my lines on my eyes now? Today is a good day. I'm not looking too haggard today. Yeah, we have a really small child who has always thought that sleep is for wimps. And man, it's amazing how much more you can get done in a day when you're up at 5 AM. And yeah, it's something that's constantly evolving, to be honest with you, as our needs change, the business needs change, she grows, that kind of thing. It's constantly always evolving. I went through quite a while of not really using a planner and having like scraps of paper and stuff, and then I went through a stage of thinking, I will remember this. But now I'm really, really, really trying to use my planner more. Sometimes, like, you know, my planner's upstairs and I'm downstairs and vice versa. So I'm just trying to like use my planner more. And sometimes I use my phone and I email myself stuff to keep myself organised. But we're trying to be like, I mean, basically, so John works for another company for 3 days a week. So on those 3 days, I am full-time mum. But on those 3 days, I work for an hour every evening, and I reply to emails in that time, and I do any other sort of like admin tasks that need to get done. Throughout the day, like if I make a cup of tea or too much information, if I go for a wee or a poo, I take my phone with me and I will capture 5 minutes of replying to social media stuff or posting on social media. Yeah, Mrs. Brimbles is run from an iPhone and me sitting on the loo. There you go. But that's just how, like, you know, you get stuff done. And then Thursdays and Fridays are usually my working days, and John does the childcare and homeschool. Occasionally he'll need to work those days, like he's had a couple of hours today where he's needed to work, and we just juggle those. We try and be really strict with Saturday and Sunday, that Saturday and Sunday are family days, because we really need that time. But I guess, like, our work, like John works from home as well. Even though he works for another company, he works from home. His computer is just next to mine. It's all about being flexible and just going with it, you know. So that's kind of how, and being at home helps because, like, John therefore doesn't have any commute times, so he will very often start work at 6 or 7 a.m. and he will print and cut the orders. John doesn't work in the evenings because he just finds it too tired. He's been on a screen all day, he finds it too tired. Whereas, yeah, I'm tired because I've looked after a child, but it's a different sort of tired. And sometimes I find coming up to my computer and working is actually a bit of a rest. God, who'd have thunk it? Paula, what's your favourite place to buy clothes? If I'm perfectly honest with you, I don't really buy clothes. I've never been a massive clothes buyer. I often see some really funky clothes, but I never really have the money to spend on those funky, posh, nice clothes. I have a few key pieces that I've spent a bit of money on, but generally speaking, I just don't have the money to buy like loads of clothes, and most of the time I'm at home, so I just kind of tend to wear like any old t-shirt because I'm just at home, and I save like my goods, like better clothes for going out and about in. But yeah, I don't really buy clothes. If I do buy clothes, I do really like Fat Face, but that's quite expensive, and I really like Animal, and I tend to buy those when we're like on holiday or something. And that's about it, really, to be honest with you. I'm just not clothes. I'd love to just suddenly be given a load of money and go and update my wardrobe. But my wardrobe consists of one pair of jeans, a couple of like funky trousers for the summer. Yeah, I literally have one pair of jeans. So thank goodness for tumble dryers. And then just a load of like t-shirts like this. That's my wardrobe. I have 2 jumpers, and that's my wardrobe. I'm kind of a bit of a minimalist type person anyway, but yeah, it's all down to money. I don't have any money these days. Reference the earlier question. It's a competitive market out there now. How long have you been vegan? I lose count. Is it 4 or 5 years? Basically been a vegetarian for most of my life. I was a vegetarian when I was a kid. A pescatarian for a bit, then vegetarian again. Vegan, I would say about 4 or 5 years. Certainly since we've been living in this house, and we've been living in this house now for 6 years. What are your 3 favourite items, as in products, tools to use in your journals, in your journaling? A black pen, which I happen to have one. This is just one of a few black pens I have. A black waterproof pen, always got to be waterproof. A watercolour brush. Have I got, 3 things. Okay, so a pen, a brush, and a set of watercolours, like a set that's got like most of the colours you would want in there, because obviously you can mix colours. That is my top 3 for journaling. So Lisa asks, sorry if this is too nosy, but your connection with Italy, are your parents Italian? Yes and no. Technically, no, they're not Italian. They are British. They were born in this country, in England. My parents, I don't know when they suddenly had a love from Italy. I can't remember now, but now I'm trying to rack my brain here. Now, my dad was made redundant from his company that he worked at, and he had a really good job for that company. He was made redundant 15 or 20 years ago. I'm trying to think. Actually, I think it might be about 18 years. So about 18, let's call it 15 to 20 then. Years ago, he was made redundant, and they'd been to Italy quite a few times, and they'd fallen in love with this little village that they stayed in, and there were loads of houses for sale. And when my dad was made redundant, he used his redundancy money and bought a house in that village in Italy. They moved over there permanently the year we moved into this house, so 6 years ago. So they moved over there, well, it was 5.5 years ago, they moved over there permanently, and they have Italian citizenship, so they're kind of Italian, but not by birth. So that's their kind of connection. They just happen to love it, and they speak the language and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's their thing, and it's a beautiful place they live in. I've been there once since we've had our daughter. No, I went just before we had our daughter to see them. And I haven't been since, but we're hoping to go later on this year. It's just been a crazy whirlwind, and I didn't really fancy taking a small child on an aeroplane, and my particular species of small child I didn't think would do very well on an aeroplane, but we're hoping to go this year, so can't wait. But I have done some vlogs on my YouTube channel. I didn't know a vlog when I went before. It's on my YouTube channel, so yeah. I can't get my words out. Carmen, what are your current favourite planner and craft supplies? My current planner. My current favourite planner is the hardbound Erin Condren that I was recently given. I'm really loving that, and these days I use all of my own stickers that I make. And planner, a journal, again, is like black pen and some watercolour. That will get me everywhere. I can do everything with that. Not everything, you know what I mean. Like if you're looking at a startup kit, I would definitely say a black waterproof pen and a pencil, HB pencil, and an eraser, and then some watercolours, and you can do so much with that. Everything else is just nice to have, you know. Everything else is just an extra bonus, but you don't need it. And sometimes having less makes you do more because it pushes you more, and it's not about what you've got, it's about what you do with it, I think. Karen, does planning then sorting out all your Christmas orders make you feel more Christmassy? Kind of like Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, or is it extra pressure at a busy time of year that you could do without? So do you mean like Brimble's stock sending out? Because if you mean that, then actually Christmas is not a busy time for Mrs. Brimble's The Business, because everybody is spending their money on Christmas presents for their friends and family. So I have a big lull, big lull, at a time when I could do with more money because I need to buy my Christmas presents. It's a big lull. So it's actually, we're then really grateful for the orders, and actually John is the one who prints anything and cuts and packs and everything. So yeah, it does make us feel kind of Christmassy. I hope that was the thing you meant, was like Brimble stuff. But if not, then ask me again and I'll answer it. She also asks, what are the best 2 and worst 2 things about running your own business, running your business from home? The 2 best things are also probably the 2 worst things, and that is, it's difficult sometimes to kind of have a cut off because it's in your house, and because, like, if I'm doing some artwork, oh, someone's just pulled up outside our house. Because like I do artwork, sometimes I even do it downstairs in the kitchen. So the thing is, it's great that it's there. Like, you don't have to go out of the house. It's there. There's no commute times. You've got all your stuff, so you can just like pop in and do things. But then the bad side to that is, like, sometimes at the weekend, if we're not really doing anything, I'm sort of sat there and I'm like, I could be working now, and that isn't good. You do need like a separation. So yeah, it's good to have everything here, but then equally it's like very tempting to come in and work. And because I love my job as well, so having that cut off. And another good thing, a really good thing, is it being flexible. So like, we can like change our days around if there's something that needs doing, and that is really good to be flexible. And like, if we want to go away for a long weekend or something, I could just work like more at night time or something, so that's really good. The massive downside is, dare I say it, money, because there isn't a money is like all over the place. Do you know what I mean? I don't have a regular income, and I don't have a regular payday. Like, every time someone orders, that is a payday for me. So yeah, I don't have a set payday. And that is like the horrible thing, is kind of like managing the money. John does that because I'm not very good at it. Michelle, I'd like to know more about your van. Did you convert it? Yes, we did. Did you choose it? Yes. How did you choose it? Right, okay, so we knew we wanted a VW. We knew we wanted a T5. And we knew that we wanted a long wheelbase because we'd had a short wheelbase before, and we just wanted that extra bit of space. And we also knew that we wanted a mid-top because the standard height, when you're having to get dressed and cook and stand up in the van, it's a pain in the backside because you can't do it in a standard top. So we know we wanted a mid-top, and we knew we wanted a long wheelbase. So John just basically kept an eye on auction sites and websites and dealers and things, and just, you know, kept on looking until the van came up. It was a panel van, and we converted it. It's cheaper to do it that way. Yeah, we paid someone to cut and put the windows in, and then John did all the insulation and everything inside, and then we paid a company to put the rock and roll bed in, and then we put an IKEA unit in it, which isn't glamorous, but it works really well. What's it like doing your... This is Vicky. What's it like doing your planner event, and what is your favourite thing about your event? I guess you always see the planner event on YouTube, but not the bits leading up to and organising them. Also wondered what you enjoy most about CAMHS PlannerCon. Okay, what I enjoy most is meeting people, because I can be a little bit of a hermit sometimes. I have to push myself to go out. And I just really love meeting people, and I don't want this to sound big-headed at all, because I'm not that, but I especially love when people come up to me and say that they've watched my YouTube videos and that they've been inspired by some of the content that I've put out there, or the content that I've put out there has like really helped them in some way. That just really warms my heart, and kind of I love that. Not that I'm a glory hunter or anything. I really love to know that I've inspired someone to do something in some way. That I really love. What's it like beforehand? Well, my house looks like a herd of teenagers came in with no adults and a keg of vodka. No housework gets done because we have to print and cut and pack up stuff for the shop. So like having a store there, we have to do that. Plus like all the other bits and bobs for organising. I am pretty good, like, because I've been doing it a few years now, that it kind of follows the same sort of format, so it makes it easier. And most of the work gets done like throughout. It's just like a bit of a rush on the lead up. But I'm just going to start looking at opening Instagram here while I'm talking. Because I didn't even think, oh, my keyboard's like right over here. So keyboard, Instagram. /Mrs Brimbles. Go. Yeah, I will probably do some, because I've been doing some studio vlogs lately, And so I shall probably include snippets of the preparation in the studio vlogs, like I did last time, like I did for Jingle and Mingle. Okay, right, Instagram questions. I'm trying to talk quick so this isn't too long. Saggy Breeks, do you have a favourite artist? No. There are so many artists that I'm inspired by, and so many different styles. On the one hand, I really love kawaii things. On the other hand, I really love nature journaling and botanical drawings. So no, I do not have one favourite artist. I can't. If I really had to force myself to have a favourite artist, it would be Nick Butterworth. I absolutely adore his children's books, illustrations. Are you a morning or afternoon kind of girl? I saw this quote on Facebook the other day, like, I'm not a night owl, I'm not a morning person, I'm kind of a permanently exhausted pigeon. I'm neither. I'm nothing at the moment. I'm just a evil, like trying to get stuff done on even kill. I have peaks and troughs throughout the day of when I'm like a bit more, so I'm kind of neither a morning person or an evening person. I'm a various points throughout the day, depending on what I'm doing. What's your favourite magazine? I don't actually read magazines. I did do a little, I subscribed to 5 issues of In the Moment magazine, which was okay. I don't do magazines because, now this is just me, I personally find them a little bit of a waste of money, because I find that they're more adverts and advertorials than content. Like, I mean, if you like taking pictures out of some of them for your journals and things, that's great, but for me, I don't really do that, and I find that there's more value for money in books, so I'm not really a magazine girl. I'll occasionally treat myself, and they're expensive. God, they're the same price as buying, like, I read on Kindle mostly, and I have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, and because that's only £7 a month, and it's just a lot cheaper to buy a book that I'll read more of than a magazine. So no, don't do magazines. Music tastes, eclectic, depending on what I'm doing. 80s is the staple. I love my 80s. And do you work in peace or with a background noise / tune? Both. I nearly always work with background noise if John and little one are here. But it depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I need music to kind of keep me going or be inspired, or just for a bit of background noise, and other times I can just crack on in peace and quiet, mainly because I've forgotten to put music on, but you know. Quickie crafts and plans. How do you come up with activities for your homeschooling? Well, I did a video on that already, so hopefully you can check that one out. Linny Levy, favourite essential oil? I don't use essential oils, but I'm thinking of buying one for, I made some homemade cleaner with vinegar, and it stinks of fucking vinegar. But I read somewhere that if you use some essential oil, it can counteract the fragrance of the vinegar, and the person recommended that mint is the best, but go with like a essential oil that you choose. If I was to go and choose an essential oil, I probably would be drawn to lavender, because I do like the scent of lavender. I find it very relaxing and calming, but I'm not an essential oil user. Candles, I do have candles. I used to be a big candle person, but these days it's a twofold between my journey to being more environmentally friendly versus having a small child. So we had a power cut the other day, and I burnt some candles, and that has got to be the first time in months, if not a year. Do you make stickers etc. for your homeschooling? No, I don't. I've got tons of stickers, because a lot of stickers that my little one gets, I pick up on rack tables, swap tables at planner events. And like my stickers, if something's gone wrong with the printing or cutting process, my little one always gets those stickers and she's really, really happy with those. So yeah, no homeschool specific stickers or anything. We make do with what we've got. And you know, we've got quite a lot of craft stuff because she gets given it as gifts, and also I've like a lot of her craft stuff I'm so grateful that I've picked up on swaps tables. One man's junk is another man's treasure, and yeah, we use lots of bits and pieces that I've picked up on the swap table. So it's cool. So that's all the questions, guys, and only half an hour. That's pretty good, because sometimes I've had to do like 2 45-minute videos, so that is pretty cool, I think. Thank you so much for watching and asking me questions. It's always fun to answer and stuff. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.